Hello everyone, back with another Halloween tutorial, this time for a Phantom of the Opera / Phantom from the Backstreet Boys' Everybody, Backstreet's Back music video. In case you missed it, I did the lizard kind of looking makeup from the video last year. Go check that out if you're interested in watching, but I think this one is a lot easier in terms of time and effects. So you can see here I just laid down a thin layer of latex, spread it out a little bit, and then put a tissue over top to get the old, wrinkly, dried out looking skin that I apply later in the look. But first I start with this mask. This I picked up at one of those pop-up Halloween shops. It was less than $5, painted it silver. It matched exactly what was in the video. And here, just as a rough guideline, I am outlining it in white. The look has that crepier looking skin poking out from underneath the mask quite a bit, so I just wanted to make sure that I was applying it in a way that it was going to stick out from underneath the mask. Here you can see is what that latex piece looks like when it's dry, and so basically you cut out wherever you need to fit around your mouth, your eyes, your ears. I should have trimmed a little bit more around my ears, so hopefully that's a lesson I can learn for you in this tutorial. Here I am just applying spirit gum, applying that all over where I want that skin to stick. Odds are you will never apply enough, so don't worry about getting everything exactly right on the first go. Just make it so that you can get the piece to adhere to your skin, and then you can go around the edges, applying a little bit more as needed just to make sure everything is stuck down. I would avoid applying this too close to the eye area because this stuff, once it does stick, is very strong. It's not coming off throughout the night, which means that as you peel your latex piece off, it is going to tug in that gentle under eye area, which we don't want. The other thing I want to mention about this technique is that the latex tissue combo can be applied directly to the skin rather than applying it over wax paper and allowing it to dry beforehand like I did. You just apply it directly to the skin. The pros are that it allows it to mold to the shape of your face. You can see here that I do spend a lot of time cutting this and trying to mold it to the frame of my face just so it fits into all those curves and edges, but it does mean that you are tied to the makeup chair for longer, whereas when you do the whole wax paper process beforehand, you can go out and do other things while that is drying ahead of the whole makeup process. So here I just cut a slit in the top piece so that I could overlap the two ends, just so it helped fit around my head a little bit more. The one thing about this look is technically it goes all the way around his head. If I had it to do over, I would have either put a bald cap on and gone full blown all over the head, or I would have cut it at my hairline because this gets a little messy and my hair doesn't necessarily always cooperate with laying nicely over that to kind of hide the rough edges, and it's harder to adhere these latex pieces to your hair. As you can imagine, you don't want to go around willy-nilly gluing this stuff to your hair for fear that you might not end up with a whole lot of hair at the end of the night. So there I just applied some foundation to make this truly flesh colored and match my skin tone. Now here I am taking none other than my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, but really you just need some matte burgundies, browns, red base browns are preferable because you want the skin to look nice and irritated. You know what I'm saying? Like bruised, irritated. This is not supposed to be pretty skin. This is just a first pass with these shadows. You're going to find as you apply your mask over top that you're going to want to fill in some areas, emphasize some other areas. This is just to make sure the whole look starts coming together. Next up is to just apply some black eyeshadow all over the eye that's going to be underneath the mask. This is a pencil from NYC. I like to use cream color so it's super opaque. In hindsight, I would have set this with a black shadow to make it ultra black, but really anything in your collection will do. And now you're almost ready to apply your mask. I really wanted to avoid, using the elastic that comes with the mask to help this stick to my skin. So what you don't see off camera is that I apply some lash glue. I tried using spirit gum, but something about the plastic and this fake skin just wasn't working. And so I found lash glue was my best solution, but it took a while to dry. So as that is drying off camera, I'm applying some scab blood to that seam just to make sure I don't have to worry about it looking messy or undone throughout the night. That scab blood helps blur the lines and frankly just looks really disgusting, which is kind of perfect for this look. You know what I'm saying? So now it is time to apply the mask. Here I am just pressing it on. Make sure it is exactly where you want it to lay. You have a little bit of time to work with this if you're using lash glue, but not a whole lot, and you just don't want it to smudge any of the makeup going on underneath the mask. But really, once it's on, it stays awesome. Here on the other side of my face, just because I applied a little bit of foundation there before and I realized it looked a little too, nice and pulled together, I'm applying some blues and grays on a fluffy blending brush and then putting that in my under eye area to make me look a little more, tired, weathered, worn. And then I'm taking a neutral brown shade and a mixture of that and a gray shade, and I'm using that to hollow out my cheeks a little bit. Last, I decided to add a little bit of that scab blood to my lip area. Didn't really add a whole lot, totally up to your discretion. In hindsight, I would have applied a darker base like a black shadow or a black cream product to the center of my lips to give it that extra ghoulish effect, but that's really it, and it's totally up to you. Here is the finished look. I've just taken my hair down and pulled it over, but you can see it just doesn't quite lay neatly over that seam, which is why I would take one of the other approaches I mentioned earlier. But anywho guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the other Halloween tutorials I have up this year or from the previous years. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!